Welcome. Hey YouTube, how are you guys doing? Today we have something a little different, spicy, I guess you can say. It's called Izzet spells, and I got this list off somebody from Twitter. They did pretty well with it last season, so I wanted to give it a try and see how it works. I left the deck exactly, well, I didn't leave it exactly the same. I added a little bit of that's the only thing I added was Ronin. I would have added more copies of her, but I didn't have any more copies. I didn't want to craft her, but she would be very good. See, I only have one copy of her, so I didn't want to craft more of her. But she's actually a probably going to be a pretty good card for this deck because it's literally nothing but instants and sorceries in the deck. So I figured it would be better. And a lot of your instants and sorceries have the colorless mana, so I think it would be good. But I got this deck off someone off Twitter, and they did pretty well with it last season. So I wanted to give it a try and see how it would work. And so we're just gonna go into the few cards real quickly, and before we go and start playing this in the I would say the ladder. We're in diamond, so the ladder, diamond ladder. So 4 frostbites. Obviously, we're playing the snow package here, so this is a good cheap interaction removal. It does 2 or 3 damage. That's great. Spike field hazard. I'm not 100% sure on this one yet. Yeah, it could kill certain creatures, but it's a land that comes in tap regardless. So I'm not really sure on it yet. I'm not sold on it, but we'll see how it works. Negate, you need these against like the soul tie control decks and stuff like that. So this is obviously, and then against the creature decks, you should be fine because you have 4 frostbites, a hazard, I guess. You also have the blitzes here. Then you can use experimental overload to return back the removal. So there you should be hopefully fine against the aggro decks. You need this against the control decks. 4 blitzes, you're literally a spell deck, so you're gonna be having a bunch in the graveyard. So this should be a high cost, so it should pretty much be able to kill any creature as long as it doesn't have indestructibility. 4 cathartic ruins, 3 thrills, and what is it, 4 seize the spoils. This is the way to draw cards, discard, feed your graveyard, so that way this gets bigger. So this discards 2, draws a card, discards a card, draws 2 cards, draws 2, draws 2, draws 2. I think this draws 3 actually. Yeah, draws 3. So this is how you feed your graveyard for experimental overload. So dual strike is here, so you could go for the OTK. So you played so let's say you create a 7/7 or something, right? Then you can use the Kazul Fury and then dual strike to sacrifice a 7/7. I guess you have to have it at least a 10/10 to do it this way actually. But so you have it as a 10/10. Let's just say you have it as a 10/10. You then Fury it, so that's going to do 10 damage to them. But before you do Fury, you do Dual Strike to copy it, and you don't need to sack another creature. It just copies the spell, so it'll do 20 damage to them. But I think most of the time you're just attacking with the creatures, and then when it comes down to it, you can sack it and do damage. On top of that, Dual Strike can copy all your draw spells, your counter spells, all that stuff. So like you can copy Cathartic Thrill, Seize the Spoils, all that. This card's actually really good, and usually you don't want to play this until turn 3 because on turn 3 before you play your land, you can play this and then you can start playing free cards off the top of your deck. So you add one to your hand. The card that you exile usually is going to be a land, so you can play the land and then one card to the bottom. Same with this one. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, it's all spells, but I'm not 100% sure. The Fury is obviously you have to play that because it has the possibility of OTKing your opponent. Like I said, Ronin looks very good in this deck, and since it is it, both sides could be played, but you want the passive of your instants and sorceries cost 1 less. We already talked about Seize the Spoils, helps you feed mana, draws you cards, but this is the bulk of the deck. This is how the deck churns and makes the deck work. Experimental Overload, you make creatures depending on how many instant sorceries in your graveyard. That's the power of the creature. Then you return something, an instant sorcery, back to your hand. So this is how the deck churns. So this is the card you're looking for. The lands are pretty basic, nothing new about the lands. And then we'll go into the sideboard after we play matches because we might change it up a bit or not, so we'll see. But this is the deck so far, so let's go see how it works out on the ladder. And before we go to the matches, There's going to be a few cards that I'm, like I said, I'm uncertain about, but we're going to leave it the way how the guy built it, and we're going to test it that way. And then depending on how it works, I'll change it in between matches. But then the sideboard guide is when you'll see the final version of the deck. So check back at the end of the video also to see how the deck altered. And then, so let's go into the matches and see what happens. All right, let's go try some Izzet OTK spells. Is it OTK? It's OTK because it runs I'm probably butchering the name, Cuzzle Fury or something like that. So I could OTK off that. Dorich. All right, I go first. Yeah, oh, it's called, yeah, Cuzzle's Fury. This hand doesn't look good at all. What is my hand doing? This 2 damage. We don't see a companion. Since we don't see a companion, I'm going to keep, because I have a kill spell and a kill spell here. I mean, this is going to do 1 damage, but it's still better than nothing. So we're going to play this as our land drop, and we'll keep the next one. There's Usher, sure. Okay, that was a good draw. So let's just kill this now. We'll play this on blue. And then next turn we'll play this. I got to keep this in my hand because it's the way it could kill. All right, so let's play this. All right, so wow. Okay, put one of them in your hand, this one. And then one of them into the library. We'll put this one to the library, and then we'll cast this one. Alrighty, that was 3 lands. This is technically a land, so that was 3 lands. I think we're playing against Boros Aggro or Boros Naya, whatever you want to call it. He missed a land drop, so that's good. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this. He missed a land drop. There's 2 in the graveyard, so this would only create a 2/2, so that's not really worth it. I could blitz it here, play this as my land drop. Just kill this now while I can. Play this as my land drop, blitz it. Seize the Spoils is also kind of good. All right, we're just going to do that. We're going to play this as our land drop. We're just going to blitz this now while we can. Feeds the graveyard. I mean, I have 2 experimental overloads, so there's that too. So I could return cards back from my graveyard. So I'm not really in dire need of my hand. I'm just going to keep his board clear as possible. Okay. So let's play this first, since this gives us the most card advantage. Ooh, that's actually really nice. So we're going to put this one into the hand. We're going to put this one on the bottom of the library, and then we're going to play this one as our land drop. So put this as our land drop. We're going to spike hazard this. Keep the board clear, and you're up. Next turn we can play this. Make a 5/5. I'm assuming he's going to go grab the card that could search for lands. Yep, there it is. All right, so, but we have, so put this on red, since we have a lot of the, what's it called? Let's play this. What am I returning here? I'm going to grab iteration, create a 5/5. We have negate for this, so if he's trying to make a land or search for a land, we can counter it. And now we can start getting aggressive. It's unfortunate that he's missing lands. Elite Spellbinder. That doesn't matter. I mean, we have 6 lands already. Him taxing. I'm sure he takes the experimental. Either experimental overload, maybe the Fury. I mean, he could take negate, I guess, so he can use this, but I don't know if that's really worth it. Tough choice. Tough choice indeed. That's a human. That's not a human. Okay, he took Fury. So does that mean that he has... Okay. What does that mean that he took Fury here? What do I have in here? I think we're going to start off with iteration. How many snowlands do we have in play? 1. So that only does 2 damage. Put one of them into your hand. I think we're going to put this one to our hand. Cathartic Reunion. I could be safe in case he has like a Winota. I could grab Frostbite. If I grab Frostbite, I can then kill it, but I want to draw cards is the thing. So I'm going to take this to hand. I'm going to put this one to the bottom of the library, and then we're going to exile this one. Could just use this to kill this. All right, let's see. Let's attack first. If he double blocks, we got action. If he doesn't double block, we got action. So the only thing I'm afraid of here would be the Winota. So I'm gonna kill this just to be safe. Let's see. I'm gonna play Cathartic Reunion here. Actually, no, because this draws me 2 also. It discards a card. This draws me 2. Yeah, I'm gonna play Cathartic Reunion. No. Discard. We'll discard this. No, I didn't draw a land. This is my land, but I don't want to do that as my land. All right, I don't want to do this as my land because I need to use that. And we killed his guy, so Winota won't happen. I just wanted to counter this possibly. That's the only thing. All right, Bone Crusher. Thrill of possibilities. All right. So experimental overload. What do I have in here? I could grab Blitz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's do that. Why is it tapping all my blue though? Red, blue. It's like, why would it tap all my Scrap Blitz? This is instant. I could kill this at instant speed if it comes to it. Let's go to combat. I mean, we're just going to kill him by attacking through like this. If he plays Winota, we're going to kill this because this is a human. We're going to keep him. We can even kill Winota, I guess, but sure, we don't care for that because I can still play this at instant speed. You can still Thrill of Possibility at instant speed. Skyclave. I don't think you could take anything. You got it. These are tokens, and that's a token technically too. If you attack, that's worse for you because I have a removal. All right, so Thrill of Possibilities. I'm going to discard the negate here since he played the card anyways. Okay, so that's just game, right? So the next spell we play, we get to double it. And then we're going to go ahead and sacrifice this. Oh, cancel. Oops. So target him, sacrifice, do 16 damage. Hit you for 16. Good game, opponent. There we go. There's one. Let's go play some Izzet spells. Izzet spells. So I got this list of someone who made, I think they made top 100 with it. So last season. So I wanted to give it a try and see how good it is or isn't. Opponent is choosing to go. So turn 1, turn 2, I have a Frostbite, then I have Iteration. All right, we'll keep. We have a 1 cost removal, we have 2 lands, and we have Iterations. I guess we'll keep. Looks like we're playing against red. So we're going to need to draw some more removal. Luckily, this deck plays a lot of removal, speaking of. Luckily, this deck plays a lot of removal. So that's, no, robber, don't steal my stuff. Took my land too, man. Why you take my land? All right, so I'm gonna play this as my land drop because I could just play Frostbite anyways. So I'll kill this, get that out of here, and then next turn we get to play Iteration and possibly play Spiked Hazard here also, possibly. Depends on, actually, I mean, I guess it's a guarantee hit Spiked Hazard because we could just put this on. Oh, there's a Frostbite too. So I don't have snowlands though. So let's play this, see what we hit. There's a snowland. All right, so put one of them into your hand. Which one to put to hand? I could put this to hand, put this down. Wow, that's tough. I want both of these. This I can remove his, Faceless Haven kind of stuff, but this also starts creating me bodies. I think I had to take the removal, unfortunately, though. Put this to the bottom, and then we'll choose this one. Play that as my land drop. Pass. When he goes into combat, I'm going to Spike Hazard just to stop him from Torbrand. Wow. All right. Well, there's that. So that's only 3 damage, though. So that's not going to be able to kill his guy yet. But I guess I could Frostbite one of them and then kill... Okay, I guess we could do that. So put this on. We could also play Iteration. I think we play Iteration. Yeah, let's play Iteration. Well, that was... that was awful. That was really bad. So... add this to hand, I guess. One of them to the library. And then dual strike. So we need blue. Oh, we have a lot of... Actually, we need red here because we have a lot of blue. All right. You're up. Go to combat. We kill Torbrand. So he has an Embercleave, I'm assuming. Because otherwise, why wouldn't he just animate the Faceless Haven? That clearly states there's an Embercleave here. Why not animate Faceless Haven to attack? I guess he could still do it now because he's in combat, but he has Embercleave. He has the cleave. Yep, see? Target creature can't block this turn. So I need a land here so that... Nope, that's not a land. I needed a land so I can kill this and be able to block this. But that didn't happen, so... Yep, and our lands come in on... Yep, that doesn't work. Alright, so how am I going to do this then? I needed a blocker here. I needed a blocker. That sucks. This guy, yep, target creature can't block this turn. Guess we play Iteration here. Alright, put one of them in your hand. Go put this one to my hand. Put one of them into your library. Put this one, so this is our land drop. And then you're up, opponent. If he activates Faceless Haven, we're just dead. I don't see why he wouldn't just activate Faceless Haven. But okay. So we're going to Frostbite this guy and go down to 1. I don't know why he didn't animate Faceless Haven here. That's kind of odd. There's no reason not to animate Faceless Haven. So now we can create this and kill this, right? Because we could return Frostbite back, and then we could create a... Yep, let's do that. We get to create a 7/7. Return Frostbite, kill that. So return Frostbite. Let's go ahead and just kill this now. So that way we can block. And even if he animates Faceless... Oh, actually he can animate Faceless. No, it requires... So he needs a land off the top. If he draws a land off the top, we lose. Because he could just put it on this and it becomes a 5 and it tramples. Annex doesn't do it. Annex doesn't do it. We have this to kill Annex. Yep. Alright, so we drew land. That's good. That is good. Let's create another 7/7. Yep, let's create another 7/7. What am I grabbing? I have Blitz technically with 2 blockers, so I think I'm gonna grab this as a draw mech. I can block and kill his guy because of this. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to attack, obviously. I'm at 1. But I need to start getting aggressive, I guess. Otherwise, we lose the game. I could attack next turn for 14, then launch. Ugh. Ugh. That was like the worst card I can see. Oh man, that's hilarious. Alright, well then. I guess we're just... Oh wait, it exiles, right? So never mind. We could get this to exile. Scratch that. I think we still win. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we need one more land. That's what we need. Alright, so I gotta kill this here. And then I also could grab this to kill this, so... Exile, so he doesn't create tokens. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Yep, you can equip that to that. Don't need Cathartic Reunion. This is hilarious. Alright, here we go again. Let's grab this. Create another 7/7. I guess, ugh, I want to attack. I think I can attack. What am I saying? Because I have 2 blockers. Exiles it. So even if he, like, I have to get aggressive here because if he draws Stomp, we're just dead. If he draws Stomp, we're just dead. Okay, Annex is fine. I don't care for Annex. We have game. Yep. Good game, opponent. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ultimatum. So much ultimatum in the format. That card, unfortunately, should be banned. They shouldn't wait 6 months for it, you know. It's just taken over the format. Both best of 1 and best of 3. That's how you know the card is very good. I'm gonna take a chance and keep. But yeah, that's how you know the deck has taken over the format. If it's the #1 play deck in both best of 1 and best of 3. And best of 1 usually is very aggressive. So we're gonna put this on red, obviously. Just gonna foretell this. Since I rather use this next turn anyways, when I can play a land, so that way I can get 2 of the 3 cards. Luminac Aspirant. So we can't play this because it just dies. So let's play Iteration. Okay. So we can play this as our land drop. So I'm going to grab this to hand. Put this to the library. Take this as my land drop. Put this as my land drop. I guess no, we can't kill it. What am I saying? Never mind, because it's gonna become a 3/3. Hey, Spellbinder. So next turn he's gonna just wait. Are these both humans? They are. So I was gonna say next turn he's gonna Winota me, but they're both humans, so that doesn't matter. That don't matter. Let's see what he does. What you got? What you got? I can do so. I guess it doesn't even matter what he takes because I could do a dual strike into seize the spoils, draw, 4 cards, create 2 treasure tokens, get up to 6 mana. So that's that. Yep, 3/3. I can kill the Spellbinder, but that doesn't really do me anything, killing the Spellbinder. I think I'd rather transform this at this point. Might as well transform it as a wheel to draw cards. Obviously, the emblem on the red side is better for me than the emblem on the blue side, because then I could copy spells by just paying 2 mana. So let's see. So do I play Dual Strike into seize the spoils and copy it? Let's duplicate. And since I'm drawing 4 cards, I'm gonna give up the land here. Because I'm drawing 4, so you would think I would hit a land, and we did. Yep, we're done. Yep, we're done. There's 1, 2, 3, huh? Actually, I could just look at the card. It tells you. Look at the card. To me. We're going to get hit for 7, go down to 10. This costs 6. So we sucks that it got very expensive, but maybe I should be running what's it called in this deck? Stormwrath. Or the other one that exiles a spell and it does damage equal to it to all non-dragons. Since I have a lot of spells anyways in the graveyard, but I guess the bad part about that is why not just run Stormwrath? Because Stormwrath does 4 damage guaranteed. As so I could kill this for 1 mana, sure. We'll kill it for 1 mana. And just get hit for 3 here. And now since he did, we could kill Blitz that, we could kill it. Another Spellbinder. Never mind. Never mind. We have access to 5, 6 mana. If I could draw another 1 mana spell, like another, I guess another, if I could draw a Frostbite or, no, he took that card. He took that one. It's cost 4, right? So I'd have to use up my treasure to play this. So if I do this, yeah, let's do this. Ooh, there's Frostbite. All right, so we're gonna grab Frostbite to our hand. We're gonna put this one to the bottom of the library. Put this there. Play this. Play Seize the Spoil, use the mana. I could also play Cathartic Reunion, actually. And that way I get to keep up my mana. But it does the same thing. I can play Seize the Spoil, creates you a mana regardless. Either way, it creates you a mana. Would I want to discard 2 or discard 1 is the question. I think I'd rather discard 1. So let's do this. Let's discard that. And let's just kill this Luminarch Aspirant now. Make sure I have 3 snow. I do. So we're gonna kill it anyways, so let's just kill it now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go up to 7 mana. Oh, he hasn't. He has another one. Who cares? He got the other one. Skyclave. Yep. Yeah, see, this is why I think I should be playing what's it called in my deck. It's cost 6, huh? All right. What am I returning here? Dun, 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 dun. I guess I could return Frostbite. It's a removal spell. I have enough draw power. I'm just going to grab Frostbite. We have a 7/7 in play. You're up. I can kill this elite Spellbinder if I need to. Let's see where he puts the counter on. Let's kill that. We have the ground gummed up, so we're just going to kill the air creature. Stop him from going to the air. All right. So that costs 4, right? We have 6 mana. I could play the other side of it. Let's go to combat first and see what happens. Let's attack. Okay. I think I want to foretell this. Then I could just use this to kill something. I have 2 dual strikes. All right, you're up, opponent. All right, well, yep, that works. Playing some blue-red. Blue-red Izzet. Press control to use full control in the next action, and shift control to use full control until your turn is over. There's a lot of things that I know. You could push like QQ, I guess. It auto taps all your mana or something like that. All right, we get to go first. We will keep this hand because we have draw power, removal, and we could do the front side or we could do the back side depending on how aggressive they are against us. It all depends how aggressive they get. So obviously we're playing this because we don't have a turn 1 play, so we play our tap land. Next turn, oh, they're cycling. But then they don't have the companion? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Play Thrill Possibility. I guess if I'm gonna play Thrill Possibility, I can play it at instant speed anyways, so we're just gonna end turn. Because this is an instant speed anyway, so let's just see what they're playing. Yeah, they're just guys cycling. Sure. All right, let's play this. So they're cycling. I'm gonna discard the Blitz. Okay. So now I guess I'm just gonna play the run-in side. So put this on red. Play the run-in side. Probably not going to work in a sense, but I wanted to cheapen my spells. As you can see, it cheapened my spells. Yep, cycle, create a 1/1. I can kill that, that's fine. Oh, he's looking for lands. He's digging for lands. He's digging for lands. So let's see. Do this. I could give up. All right, let's do this. I can give up, I guess, dual strike and land. Sure. Okay. Now we can plus this because we've drawn 3 or more cards in this turn. Let's spite hazard this so that way we can ultimate this guy's effect. If I play land. Ooh, and I gave up my red source, otherwise I could have played this. So if I play land, I could do this actually. I could still do this. Yeah, what am I thinking? Derpa derpa. Derpa derpa. I'm like, wait, I can't play anything, but you can play this because this is cheapening your card. Derpa derpa. Yeah, we're gonna emblem this guy 100%. You got it. We're not going to wait. I mean, you could wait, but there's no point to waiting. The effect is too strong to wait and take a risk. All right, so what do we want? Well, that was a bunch of nonsense there. I guess I have to take this because that's the combo. Stormwrath doesn't do anything. I have it. Frostbite, Yeah, we'll take the Fury. We'll take El Fury. Alright. You get an emblem whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. You may be 2. If you do copy that spell, you may choose new targets. Now we get to start doubling our effects. So, Cathartic Reunion. Let's discard this and discard this. Pay 2. Auto pay. Draw a bunch of cards. Thank you. Thank you, good sir. It says a very good card indeed. All right, you're up, opponent. We got to start getting in the red zone pretty fast because he's going to be able to start Zenith flaring like crazy soon. Another improbable cause. I mean, fine with that, I guess, but not fine with that. Sure, okay. get to play Experimental Overload. Let's create. Ooh, if I had one more mana, that would be amazing. Do I just like wait then and so I could draw it? Because I could return 2 cards back from my graveyard and create 2 8/8s. So let's do Seize the Spoil instead, I guess. What do I discard though? I guess I have multiple Seize the Spoils. Let's copy it because it creates 2 treasures. Yep. Let's play land. There's no point in playing that because I can't copy it again. I guess I'd have to discard down. Sure. Alright, what am I discarding though? I could discard one of these because I have 2 of them. And I don't want to discard technically a land, but I could discard a land. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I need the land because I win the game with the land. So I guess we'll do that. I win because this is gonna make a 12/12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna use 1, 2, 3 mana to launch it, and then I'm gonna pay the 2 mana to copy it. So I'm gonna do 24 damage to him. So this is game over. That's why Ronan is strong. Obviously, if he has a negate, which seems odd that he would have a negate. But if he has a negate, then we're just dead, I guess. Decline. Decline. What am I grabbing? I guess, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'll grab this. So target you, sacrifice. Good game, opponent. Yep. Cycling is gone. Not today, cycling. Auto pay. Target you again. Hit you for 24 damage. This is what I mean by the OTK. Alright, let us play some Izzet spells. Interpreter Jones. Interpreter Jones. Alright, well, we have lands and spells, so we're gonna keep this hand. We have a Frostbite in case they're an aggro deck. We have a Negate in case they have some randomness, and then we have Throw of Possibilities and Seize the Spoils for draw power. If depending on what they are, we can do one or the other. So it looks like we're playing against Snow? The Snow deck. So we don't probably need this Frostbite here then. Let's see if they want to counter this. Nope. Okay, well we could discard another card. We could discard this Blitz of Thunder Raptor. Let's see. I feel like they're gonna either stomp me here or cycle like a Magmus Opus or Magma Opus. There we go. All right. Figured as much. Magma Opus. They have access to 4 mana. Sure. We could kill this next turn, so I'd rather do this first. I could discard. Seize the Spoil here or the Mountain? Ooh. Alright, well, I mean, it guarantees me the land if I kept the Mountain. Well, we drew one anyways. We drew one anyways, so I could blitz this Bone Crusher and hold up Negate. I probably should have waited till it was his turn to do it in case they have a Goldspan Dragon. But the way they're playing, it doesn't seem like they would have a Goldspan yet. Let's find out. Let's find out. If it ends up backfiring and they do have Goldspan, well, oh well. We'll have, okay, so that's Alrund's Epiphany, I'm pretty sure. So let's go ahead and create a treasure. We could discard this mount. The Fury, actually, never mind. The Fury! We could bring it back with Experimental Overload, that's why. Alright, so we have 2 lands for negate. We're going to hold that up and just pass turn. The reason why I didn't discard the mount, Bone Crusher or Stomp, whatever. I didn't discard the mountain is because I have Experimental Overload and I can use it to get it back if I need to. Whereas missing a land drop could be very awful for us. So I think I just make... Wait. Oh, yeah, you can't do that. Okay. I was trying to like see if I could foretell this at instant speed and you can't. So I think what I do is I just make this 7/7 and hold up negate. And I think I grab Blitz of the Raptor. It's called Thunder Raptor. And then this way I can protect against a Goldspan Dragon or a spell with negate. And I have a 7/7 and he can't get through. So let's see what he does. Fable Passage, 2, 4, 5. So he goes up to 6 mana. I feel like he's trying to do an Elrond's Epiphany here. It has to be the face down card. It's Elrond's Epiphany. Because if it saw it coming, he could have countered so many other cards. Yep, okay. He could have countered so many of our cards so far if it was Elrond. I mean, not Elrond, saw it coming. So that's... Let's make a 7/7, grab negate back. Why is it tapping all my blue mana, though? I know I have all red cards in my hand, but I do want to hold up some... What's it called here, buddies? Let's grab this negate back. Make a 7/7. So how does he... Even if he casts Goldspan, how does he beat 7/7s? And on top of that, I have Blitz of the Thunder Raptor. There's Goldspan. I can kill this. And I can protect the kill spell with negate. So let's go ahead and kill this Goldspan. He gets to create a treasure, that's fine. But by him attacking, he creates a treasure regardless. And if he uses a counter spell to stop the Blitz, I have negate to stop the counter spell. So we should be good here. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor. I wish I could foretell the dual strike, but can't do that at instant speed. Sure. He gave up a treasure for it. That's fine. You already played, I think, land for the turn too. Or maybe you didn't actually. We have double dual strike, so I can use dual strike here into a Seize the Spoils. And still hold up negate. And I'll discard the dual, the strike, obviously. And let's draw, what is this, 4 cards? 4 cards. It's 4 cards. Let's go ahead and Frostbite this and attack for lethal. He only has a treasure up, so boom, there we go. Alright, we got that one. That was pretty actually easy, to be honest. Alright, so I think I bring in red caps because it can kill both the Bone Crusher and Goldspan. But then what do I cut here? That doesn't do anything. It puts what, 1/1 counters on it where X equals the total number of instances and sorceries. That doesn't do anything. The Vision. Maybe Cathartic, bring in Disputes. Maybe Frostbites for the red cap melees. I'm counting my lands right now. I could cut the Frostbites because the Frostbites only kill Bone Crusher when I have 3 snows. Other than that, it doesn't kill anything. And red cap can kill both Goldspan Dragon and Bone Crusher. Interpreter Jones. Interpreter Jones. Okay, well, we have 0 lands. Well, we have 1 land, I should say. Not 0. Someone keeps messaging. Message! Unfortunately, we have to keep this. I don't want to mulligan into a no-lander. I have a dispute for early counter, and have thrill of possibility to cycle through my deck. And I guess we just drew a Seize the Spoil, so we can do that too. All right. What you got? What you got, opponent? Ooh, Negate is a nice draw too. I love that Thrill is an instant, so we don't have to even do anything. We can just hold up Thrill. I feel like I should negate this because he's gonna use that anyways on his turn 3. So I'm negating this because it stops it from him casting it as his 3-drop. There's nothing he can do on turn 3 that would hurt me that much where not countering it would be, be beneficial. And as you saw, his turn 3 was just a foretold card versus a 4/3 that we had no way of killing. Ooh, Ronan. Rowan. I think I just hold up Dispute here because he could go up to Goldspan mana. So you missed the land drop. Okay. So I can play Iteration here and hold up Dispute. So let's do that. I want to play the Planeswalker, obviously, but I don't want to leave my shields down. He counters this. That's fine. That is fine. I want to play the Planeswalker, but I don't want to leave my shields down. Don't want to leave the shields down. Because Mystical Dispute is a good card. Dual Strike, huh? So put this on blue. I can foretell this Dual Strike, and then next turn cast it for 1 and play Seize the Spoil. That works. And now we have Mystical Dispute mana with a Mystical Dispute counter up, you know what I mean? So if they played Mystical Dispute on us, we would have been able to pay the mana for Mystical Dispute. Let's add the companion here. So I added the companion here in my hand, so that way next turn I can seize the spoils it and discard that as my cost. Since having the companion is not really going to do much against them right now, I'd rather add it to my hand as a free card and then use that to discard for Seize the Spoils. Because I don't want to be missing land drops against them, so that's why. Throw the possibilities. Well, now I don't have to play Seize the Spoil yet. I could just throw at instant speed. Because I'm a thriller. Thriller. You want to counter this? No, you don't. No, my friend, you don't. Cathartic Reunion. Probably gonna discard that to seize the spoil. Because I don't want to discard 2 cards. Huh. Well, pass turn and see what happens. I still have this Dual Strike sitting over there. I guess I should have just should have foretold the Dual Strike last turn, I guess. Let's play a Dual Strike. Let's see if he wants to counter this. This Ronin would have been so good if I would have cast it a while back ago. Let's cast Seize the Spoils. We will have enough. I could play the land first, but I think we're fine. I could discard the Dual Strike. I could discard the land, actually. I'm drawing 4 cards. What am I saying? I'm drawing 4 cards. There shouldn't be... Yeah, there you go. I was like, the odds of me not drawing a land are pretty slim pickings. Where's my experimental overloads? There's so many There's so many spells in the graveyard. 2, 4, 5. So many. What the heck does he have at instant speed? Alright. Let's just dispute this for 1 mana. Let's just stop that. shenanigans. I'm just gonna foretell these. Oh no, wait. Well, since I used both my blue mana, I guess auto tapper for the win. Since I used both my blue mana, I'm not holding up any counter magic, so I might as well just foretell the other one. Yep. Auto tapper for the win, people. Auto tapper for the win. That was awesome. Sure. That guy doesn't do anything. We have 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 mana. Red cap kills this guy. Okay. Let's start drawing more cards. Let's play Cathartic Reunion, discard Spike, Hazard, and Fury. Draw 6. Jeez Louise. Let's draw 6 cards. I'm not sure you're going to be winning, opponent. Oh, wow, look at this. So if I play Experimental Overload, it probably gets countered, but we have another one in our hand, so even if it gets countered, that's fine, because the other one could get the other one back if it gets countered. I could also play Dual Strike here, actually. That way, if Experimental Overload gets countered, that's perfectly fine. Because then he has to counter both the card and the copy of the card. So even if he counters just the one, we get the copy. I think he's going to concede. So what am I getting back? Negate to protect myself. And then I guess I can get either a removal or a draw spell here. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I get back. That's why I'm like, I have a 7. Oh, I have an 8 card hand. 3, 6. Yeah, I have an 8 card hand with 25 power on board. Jeez Louise. Guess I could discard Blitz and I could just go for lethal next turn with the Fury. So play Dual Strike, play Fury. There it is. That's game. Never mind. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sideboard Guide. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay and the intro of the deck. And I mean, in the intro, like I told you, I left the deck the same. I gotta say, this deck is pretty solid of a deck. If you want to have fun and something different, this is definitely one. And as you saw in the gameplay, I played this deck both in best of 1 and best of 3. And to be honest, I think the deck is better in best of 3, but you could do it in either way because it has enough removal and counter spells in a sense that you could do it both ways. But I think you want to kind of play against a slower match in a sense. And so because you want to play against a slower match, I think it's better in best of 3 since there's more aggro in, I mean, I guess sort of and not really. I mean, there's a lot of Sultai in best of 1 anyways, but I think you'll find less, slower decks in best of 3 than you will in best of 1. So in my opinion, I think you should play this in best of 3. But like as you saw, you could play it in best of 1 or best of 3. But I'll give you a sideboard guide in case you choose to play it in best of 3 and if you don't want to play it in best of 1. So it's your choice. I'll give you a sideboard guide to help you out. Hopefully this will help you out, but give it a shot and see what happens. But before we get started on the sideboard guide, I want to thank everyone for supporting me. If you're new to the channel, hopefully by the time you're done watching, I get you to subscribe. Check the description of the video. It has the portable, you can import the deck list. It has the deck list in the description. It also has my Twitter and whatnot, so if you want to follow me, but check the description. If you try this deck out, give me some feedback on the deck and let me know how you guys do with the deck, if there's any changes you would make. Of course, I always want to hear some feedback about you guys. Drop some comments down below if there's any way I can make the deck better, or if while you're watching the game, if you saw any misplays I made, and learning about any of the stuff that I did wrong that I didn't see. Love to hear it because then it helps me get better as a player. So drop some comments down below, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, hit the notification, and let's get into the sideboard guide. So right off the bat though, before we get to the sideboard guide, this guy is the companion. He is, like, okay. It's not needed in the deck, obviously, because you're not really running, you're not running any effects. The part that you do want is the part where target creature can't block. But if you don't have this guy, you don't need a companion. You can just run it the way it is. It wins without the companion. I think I've only casted the companion. Actually, maybe I've not even casted the companion at all so far. I've mainly used it to add it to my hand and then discard it through, Thrill of Possibilities, Seize the Spoils, or Cathartic Reunion. So I guess that's what it's there for, is to kind of use it as a discard outlet because it's a free card. So if you have another companion that would fit for this deck, obviously I don't think you could do cards like, I guess you could do Loris, but you would have to remove, I guess, Ronin here. But like if you have another companion that would fit this build, or just fit in general, to add it to your hand, and then you could discard it if you want, you could do that instead. I mean, obviously he fits because you can also cast him in this deck, but you could play around with the companion or run zero companion. Like I said, I didn't cast him once in the matches, I believe, and it was always to discard for one of the discard spells. So if you don't have that, don't even bother with that. Don't even worry. But let's get into the sideboard guide. So the first sideboard, or the first deck that we're going to give a guide to, is Rogues. Obviously, I know it has declined a little bit in popularity just because Sultai Ultimatum is kind of taking over the format. And I don't think Rogues is that good against Sultai Ultimatum. I could be wrong. I haven't played Rogues in a while or against it. So it's, but obviously this is pretty easy. You're bringing 3 Mystical Disputes to 2 Tested Talents. You already have a lot of removal, so you could deal with their creatures. Now you got to deal with their counter spells and their draw spells. So Dispute and Tested Talents does that well. Obviously Tested Talents could take both Drown in the Lock all copies or Into the Story of all copies. So that's a very solid card. And then what I take out is I take out cards that either going to hurt me by playing it, or cards that if I cast it, just straight up dies. So if I cast Ronin on turn 3, she can easily just die on the turn 3, because they could, if they maybe milled me already for a few cards, I'm milling myself, or feeding the graveyard myself, they can easily kill Ronin with 1-2 creatures. So I take her out. Seize the Spoils and Cathartic Reunion. This is the part where I talk about taking out cards that would hurt you. So Cathartic Reunion, Seize the Spoils, Throw of Possibilities, they all have the cost of discarding a card from your hand, even more so for Cathartic Reunion because you have to discard 2. So no matter what, you have to discard the card, and then if they counter it, you lost 3 cards. You discard, say for Cathartic Reunion, you discarded 2 cards and Cathartic Reunion. That's 3 cards, and then they use 1 to counter that. So it goes the same with Seize the Spoils. So that's why I cut those, because I don't want to be 3 for 1ing myself or 2 for 1ing. So I cut 2 and then 1 of those. And then I cut 1 Kazula Fury, because I mean the combo is probably not gonna happen in this matchup. It's a tap land, but we still have 3, so it still be fine. So that's what I do against Rogues. I bring in counter magic and I cut cards that hurt me when it gets countered. The next deck you'll see, it's been gaining a little popularity either with the Magna version or whatever, just back into Gruul Aggro with the dragons and all that. Gruul Aggro. So you're going to see this for sure. So what I bring in against Gruul Aggro is Soul Seers, 2 Soul Seers, 2 Serpentine Curves, and 1 Prismari Command. So Soul Seer because you can kill the dragon, it can kill Lovestruck Beast because it does 5 damage to it and removes indestructibility. The Curve because it's kind of like the Experimental Overload, with the exception of not bringing something back from your graveyard. It creates a token and then puts X11 counters +1 onto it. So depending on how many instants and sorcery cards you have exiled in the graveyard. So obviously with this deck, you can easily create 7/7s, 8/8s, 10/10s, 13/13s pretty easily, and it's 4 mana. So for 4 mana, create something that Lovestruck can't get through, or even create something that Lovestruck and Embercleave can't get through. So I bring that in. I bring in 1 command just so I can remove either Henge or Embercleave. Obviously, I can just, go past it by just killing their creatures. but I want to bring in just in case it happens where I might need it. So I bring in one command for that. On top of that, it can get you, you could draw you cards, discard cards, so there's all the other possibilities for the deck. So, and then what I cut is negates and dual strikes. Negates because, like I said, this can only counter Embercleave or Henge, and that's really, I mean, you can counter the adventure side of the creatures, but I'd rather just go ahead and remove the creatures and let them, do that. Because if they already have creatures in play, negate is a dead card. I cut 2 dual strikes because, like I said, if they have creatures in play, it kind of becomes dead. Obviously, you can copy a spell and do multiple damage, but if they have, let's say, a 5/5 love struck and you draw Frostbite, I mean, if you have 3 snow lands, you could do, I guess, 6 damage to it, but that's a 2-for-1 on you, so I cut those. The next deck, I'm going to clump these together. So it's red or Winota or white. You bring in the same exact cards against these 3 decks, or I bring in the same exact cards against these 3 decks. So obviously red cap melee isn't good against white because it makes you sacrifice a land, but it's a 1 mana removal that you might need. So I still bring it in because it's still a 1 mana removal. Either I die or I lose a land. I'd rather lose a land than die. So I bring in 2 red caps, 1 Cinderclasm, 2 Soul Seers, and 2 Prismari commands. So red cap is obviously good against red and Winota because red cap can kill Winota for 1 mana, and red cap just hits everything in red. Cinderclasm, it's good against red because they play, Fervent Champion, the Charger. They play a lot of creatures that have 1/1s. Same with Winota, they play a lot of creatures that have 1/1 toughness, so it could kill a lot of things, and it does it to all their creatures. Soul Seer is definitely good against white because they're going to try to protect their dude to make it indestructible. Same with Winota because they have Selfless Savior in there too. So it goes past the indestructibility and it goes through that and does fire damage. It also in the Winota kill the Kenrid, so we bring that in. And then Prismari command works against red because it could kill Annex and a creature, or Annex and or Embercleave and a creature. Against Winota, it could kill some of their smaller dudes and ramp you, or discard and ramp you. So it's used in red to either kill like Annex or Embercleave, or to damage to a creature, or ramp you. Same goes with Winota, kill, ramp, draw cards. So it works for 3 mana against 3 decks. And what I take out against them is I take out cards that, since they're all 3 aggro decks, you take out cards that won't help you out. So negates don't help me out. Against red, I can only counter, Stomp and Embercleave. In the Winota deck, I don't even think there's something I can counter. And in the white deck, I think the only card is, Skyclave Maul or something like that. So negates are useless against them. Dual strikes, once again, it's that same theory. If they have something in play already and you draw a dual strike, if you don't have a removal, it's not going to do so well. We're keeping 2 in, obviously, because it can still copy, the Fury or Experimental Overload and stuff like that. So we keep 2 in just for that. Cut 1 Kazu's Fury because it's a tap source, and same with goes with Vision, it's a tap source. At least with Spikefield Hazard, I can kill some of their creatures, so I keep in that. So that's what I do against these 3 decks. Like I said, they're all different: red, Winota, red, white, or white, but that's what I do against those decks. The last deck I'm going to give a sideboard guide to is Sultai Control. This is actually the #1 played deck in both best of 1 and best of 3. That kind of says a lot for the deck that it's in both of the best of 1 and best of 3. In my opinion, I think they should just ban Emergent Ultimatum instead of waiting 5-6 months so the card rotates out. This deck took over the format, and sadly it doesn't require skill in a sense to play. Like, yes, you still need to know how to play certain cards, but like, you could be losing, not like massively, but you could be losing and then top deck a Emergent Ultimatum and just beat your opponent with it. So sadly, this deck is one of those dumb decks. So unfortunately, it's taken over the format because of that, and it has a high win rate or high-ish win rate for people to just constantly be on this deck. So against them, I bring in 3 Disputes, 2 Tested Talents, 2 Commands, 2 Curve. Serpentine Curve. So Disputes and Tested Talents, obviously, to counter their Emergent Ultimatums, their ramps, their counter spells, their draw spells, whatever you want to use it as counter magic. The command here is more to ramp you and loot through your deck so you can get to these counter spells. And then the curve, obviously, they're going to take out the, most likely they're going to take out the removal. They might keep it in because since your win con is technically experimental overload. But if they keep it in, that's also good for you because you have ways to, like, you don't have to attack them. You can use Fury plus, you know, Dual Strike or something like that to win the game. So I bring in curve because I want to put pressure on them. So I need to attack them. And this is a way to attack them. And then you just cut cards that are useless. The creature removal cards are useless against Sultai. Yeah, they're going to bring in, you know, Elder Gargaroth or Coma or something like that. But you could pass that like pretty easily with the experimental overloads. You can easily create enough dudes fast enough, or not fast enough, but bigger dudes that you can easily pass those guys up. So I take out the 4 Frostbites because it doesn't kill anything. 4 Blitz. I mean, Blitz could kill stuff, but because obviously you'll get enough cards to kill stuff. And then 1 Spiked Hazard because, like I said, I keep the other 2 in because worst case scenario, they're lands. So that's the deck, Izzet spells. And like I said, this was a deck from last season's. Saw some guy post it and it looked pretty interesting. The guy made, I think, Mythic top 100 with it. It looked pretty solid. So far, it's a pretty solid deck. Like I said, I would recommend it in best of 3 because it's a little slower format. But in best of 1, it should work equally. As you just saw in the video, we played both best of 3 and best of 1. Just because you have so much removal, Frostbite, Spike, Hazard, Blitz. And then on top of that, you could bring those cards back with Experimental Overload. So you can do that. If you do go into best of 1, the one thing I would recommend here is take out 1 Vision, 1 Negate, and put in 2 Storm Rats. So I would cut, if you do this in best of 1, I would cut, oops, that's not how you spell Storm. Cut 1 Vision, 1 Negate for 2 of these. Because this would be really good against the Winotas, the Whites, the Reds. Obviously, this card is, and then these 2 cards are good against Sultai, but cutting 1 shouldn't hurt too badly to edge your matchup against 3 decks versus 1 deck. So yes, these 2 cards, Negate specifically, is good against Sultai Ultimatum, but this card, so that's 1 deck. This card is good against red, this card is good against white, Winota, any aggro deck. So you're good against 3, 4, 5 decks, whereas this is good against 1 deck. So if you do this in best of 1, I would do that. Cut 1 of these, cut 1 of these for 2 of those. So, but hopefully you guys like the sideboard guide. Like I said, if you've enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the commentary, you enjoyed the gameplay, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I post videos weekly, and hopefully I'll get you guys to subscribe and check me out on my next video. Thanks for watching.